All right, he's done it. Denis Shapovalov is officially back and has capped off one of the most incredible weeks we've seen from a player on the ATP Tour in recent memory. Beats Casper Ruud in the final of the Dallas 500 to win, and he is absolutely pumped, and so is the country of Canada, as we should be, because it's been a tough couple of years. But Denis Shapovalov wins. We're going to talk about that run and what it means for his career and his standing within the greater ATP Tour kind of world. Carlos Alcaraz also wins another ATP Tour title, beating Alex de Minaur in the final of Rotterdam in a great 3-set match. So we're going to break that one down as well. So thanks for being here. This is The Slice presented by Betway, and we're going to break this down. Thanks for being here, and let's get into it. Okay, well, what a day of tennis. And just to start off, if you're a Canadian tennis fan watching this, shout out to you. It has been a couple of tough years, and especially if you're a Denis Shapovalov fan, this week is a sight for sore eyes. Denis playing right up along his best tennis, and yeah, we'll talk about it more. But I was saying this on Twitter. This week he pretty much played at the top or near the top of his level of his potential the whole week. And he kind of proved that he deserves to be in the top 10 with that level if he can be consistent, which is the key. He beat 3 top 10 players, 2 top 5 players on the way to this title. And really kind of in dominant form in the last 3 matches. So thinking back to it, 2017, 2018, when Shapovalov was one of the most highly touted young prospects on tour, beat Nadal in the late summer of 2017, was really shooting up the rankings in 2018. If you had said he's winning the Dallas Open ATP 500 in 2025, you would be like, yeah, of course, that lines up. I'm sure he's maybe already won a major or he's in, the top 10, top 5 consistently. But careers and the world of professional tennis is crazy, and injuries, not getting as many titles as he wanted, have all, made for a very roller coaster career so far. But he's ended up being still just 25 years old, now winning a title like this, beating 3 top 10 players. So it's a beautiful story. And I think everyone in the tennis world kind of sees that and is pumped for Shapovalov this week. So we'll get into it. But first, shout out to our sponsors. The Slice is presented by Betway. And I did pick on the Betway feed, the link below. I said Shapovalov is going to win in 2 sets. So I picked that, and that hit. And I also picked Alcaraz to win on the Betway feed. So if you're going to bet on the tennis, use the Betway app. It's an amazing place to do it. Link below for that. And also shout out to Tennis TV. Yes, the Tennis TV, which is where I watched both finals today in Rotterdam and Dallas from the comfort of my own world headquarters here of the Slice. And it's an amazing no-brainer to me if you're a tennis fan. You can watch. I would miss points, and I would click 10 seconds back to rewatch the point and then jump live. Watch it live, watch it replay. Amazing high def. We're thickly into the frantic February of 350 plus matches live and on demand. So shout out to Tennis TV. If you're going to treat yourself, click the link below to do it. That helps out the show as well. All right. So yeah, like I said, Denis Shapovalov winning in Dallas is just incredible for him and for his fans. This is a week that, like, one of the most, for a guy like Denis as well, this week is so important for his career because it validates the belief that he's been holding on to, that he can still do this type of thing. And this type of thing means winning 5 matches, I believe. Yeah, 5 matches in a row where he played at a super high level the entire time. All 5 matches he played a high level. All 5 matches he resisted the urge to get negative and to emotionally implode. And all 5 matches he was able to play his identity of tennis, and it worked against some of the best players in the world. So that's got to be super validating for Denis, and it's got to give him a huge amount of confidence. On the Slice, when we did an interview with him, which I'll link to here, about a month ago, he said his goal for 2025 is to be back in the top 10. And yeah, this week shows that that's a realistic goal, in my opinion. Now, rankings are a lot more than just one good week. It's about consistency and winning matches week in and week out on the tour, which is hard to do. But if Denis plays this way and with this temperament, he can do this week in, week out. He's got the physical ability, barring injury, but he's got the stuff to hang with the best players in the world. And yeah, it was incredible to see. Taylor Fritz plays huge from the baseline. Denis Shapovalov was able to hang with him and hurt him and get a win out of that match where he was down by a set and he didn't emotionally dive in that set. He was able to turn that match around and win it. That was a huge one for him. Even if that's the only win he got out of this week, it would have been a positive week. Then he goes on to beat Mahac. And then he goes in, playing, just overpowering him a bit. Mahac just really doesn't have the power to hang with Shapovalov from the baseline when Shapovalov's playing like that. Plays a great game, gives him a bag on the second set. Great match. Then he beats Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul's got an amazing, well-rounded game. He's got pop on his serve and his forehand, but Denis has got a bit more pop on his serve and his forehand, and he was able to play consistently, and Tommy Paul's defense and movement and consistency wasn't really enough to get Shapovalov off his game, and he just played lights out. I do think Tommy Paul might have been slightly hurt there, hampered with his movement a tiny little bit, which might be why he's not playing in Delray this coming week. But that wasn't a great match from Shapovalov, again, against the top 10 player. And then he comes to the final and he beats Casper Ruud. And this match was, a Shapovalov masterclass again, particularly in the way that he kept his poise. The first set, tight first set, went to a tiebreaker. Shapovalov really had to play well because Casper was playing great, but Denis was able to serve amazingly well, 12 aces in the first set. So that shows that almost like Casper might have had the higher level, but Shapovalov was able to hit 12 aces, which is literally 3 of the games in that set, just came from him hitting clean aces. And then he hit a ton of forehand winners. I believe he had 27 forehand winners to 10 near the end of the match for Shapovalov over Ruud. 27 forehand winners. Might have been 23. 27 or 23. You can't see it on atptour.com, but unbelievable ball striking from the serve to the forehand and the backhand. Shapovalov was passing. Casper Ruud was trying to be aggressive. He would come forward when Shapovalov would slice the ball low and short. Sometimes, Casper kind of has to come in behind that, and then Shapovalov would pass him from the backhand wing down the line multiple times or cross court. And it really had Casper shaking his head, being like, what do I have to do against this guy? When is he going to start spraying balls and getting mad and freaking out? Didn't happen. So let's take a deeper look at the stats here from this match, but they're really going to show how dominant Shapovalov was on serve. And again, it's not like Ruud's a bad returner or even returned poorly in this game. The service stats from Shapovalov were just that good. 311 serve rating, 13 aces, 12 in the first set, only 2 double faults. First serve was 68% in. That's pretty high for how big he was serving. And then he won 72% of those first serve points, 65% of his second serve, which is great. Casper Ruud, his first serve wasn't as deadly, even though he was hitting it pretty big. Shapovalov was also returning great. He was just doing everything great. Was able to win still 67% of his second serve points, Casper. Break points, Shapo only faced 1, and I believe he saved it with a clean winner, forehand. And Shapovalov got the 1 break on Casper Ruud in 5 attempts there. So that's just the serving was serious business for Denis there. And first set was tight. Shapo brings it out in the tiebreaker. Casper kind of hit a few forehand errors at the end of that tiebreaker that he'd want back. Just had 2 misses that he kind of gave Shapo, and Shapo's like, that's all I need. I'm taking the rest. And he did, and he was able to get through. But just played incredible poise, played within himself, played smart, aggressive tennis, just played the best brand of Denis Shapovalov tennis that he could play. And he's able to win the biggest title of his career. But as I was kind of saying, I don't want to overhype this title for him. Like, this is not the pinnacle of Denis Shapovalov's career. This is the type of result that will inevitably come with a guy that has that much talent, and when he puts it together like he did in every match this week. It wasn't like he just put it together for one match and then lost the next. He consistently through this week played great style tennis, played his serves great, forehand, whole physical game as well, and then mentally he was locked in as well. Never let himself get too low, responded to the tight moments in matches with big serves, aggressive play, and identity in his game. And so this type of tennis, if he plays like this, these results are going to come. And they, I think even bigger results. Like, he's been to the final or he's been in the semifinal of Wimbledon. So to me, getting to the semifinal of Wimbledon in the past and multiple quarterfinals at majors is bigger than winning an ATP 500. But for this point in his career, this win just validates the work he's been putting in. But I don't want to think like this is where he's gotten to his career. He's getting back to where he should be in his career, which is top 10, I believe. And this is a great step there. And it's just a sight for sore eyes. Like I said, for all of us tennis fans who want to see exciting, aggressive, shot-making tennis at the top of the ATP Tour, because Denis Shapovalov is going to bring that. And he's a great guy. So, yeah, we're stoked for him. We might have him back on the show here to break it down for you. We'll see about that. We've put in the ask. But let's turn our eyes now to Rotterdam, where Carlitos Alcaraz came through and beat Alex de Minaur, but it took 3 sets. So it was not super straightforward, but I did think that Alcaraz would be the victor because I just think the kind of the match depended on him more. Same as Shapovalov. I said the match depended on Shapovalov more than Ruud. These are the two guys who are more aggressive, hit the bigger shots, so that's how it works. But de Minaur played a good match, got 3 sets, and a lot of the time he was taking returns super early, taking the ball super early, trying to get it behind and by Alcaraz on these quick indoor courts, which he was able to do. So he was causing issues for Alcaraz. But, it's a big ask to beat Alcaraz. But again, the 3-set format on an indoor hard court is where you're going to do it. But it just wasn't enough for de Minaur today. So Alcaraz comes through Hurkacz, and then he beats de Minaur. And let's pull up the stats here. Almost 2 hours. They play a quick match. We like that. The serving stats wasn't really a serving match, obviously. It's de Minaur actually had more first serve points won. Alcaraz only 67% first serve points won. Only 67% first serve in, but also 64% on his second serve. And the Demon had his second serve only winning 47%, which is kind of like a normal number. He had it picked on a little bit more, but both guys had lots of breakpoint opportunities. Alcaraz had 8 break points against the de Minaur serve, and de Minaur had 7 against the Alcaraz serve. So it was a fairly tight match, and I watched most of it, not as intently as I did though against for the Shapovalov Ruud match. But this is a great week for Alcaraz because he comes here to Rotterdam, and he said he was wearing the nose strip because he had a bit of a flu or a bit of an illness before coming here, so that's why he was opening up his nose. Casper was doing that just because he thought it gave him more oxygen. But Alcaraz comes here and plays indoor. This is the surface that he's struggled with the most, and he gets the win. Gets an ATP 500, another title under his belt. Sinner didn't show up. He said he's kind of happy he didn't. He wouldn't like to play him, but it would have been good for the tournament to see them in the final. That's true. But this is a confidence builder for Alcaraz, as this, it's his first title of the year. It's his first, really good result of the year. And how's he going to take that into the next tournaments he plays? Maybe Acapulco, Indian Wells, Miami. We will see. But yeah, that's a great week for him. Plays well in Rotterdam, and that's a good week for Alex de Minaur as well. If we let's just go look at the live rankings now of the ATP Tour. I think that's a good thing to do. We click live here. We go, okay, Carlos Alcaraz, he's still 3rd in the world. Taylor Fritz, 4th. Casper Ruud, 5th. de Minaur is now 6th. Moves up there. Djokovic, 7th. Danil's 8th. Tommy Paul's 9th. Andre Rublev's 10th. But okay, let's go look at this. Where's Felix Auger-Aliassime, 22, and Denis Shapovalov, 32. Let's look at Denis Shapovalov's ranking. Ranking changes over the last. So the green is the singles. Yeah, if you just look at the 2024, at the beginning of 2024, like this time last year, he was ranked 127 in the world. He's ranked around the 100 mark for like most of last year. And he started to creep in by the end, and then won in Belgrade and was able to get close to the top 50 and has hung out there for the last few months. And now he's back into almost the top 30. So again, if you're an Alcaraz or a Shapovalov fan, he's I would say he's fully back. And the confidence that he should take from this will hopefully allow him to play consistently like this in tournaments going forward. And he's got a lot of hardcore tennis ahead of him, which he likes. Indian, I don't know where he'll play next, but he'll play Indian Wells, I'm sure. And the good thing is he won't have to like play qualifiers for these. He'll play Indian Wells, he'll play Miami. He'll get straight in on both those. Might even be seeded. So yeah, huge week for Denis Shapovalov. Great week for Carlos Alcaraz. That's a slice on both of those tournaments. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks to Betway and to Tennis TV for sponsoring this video. We will see you next time here on The Slice.